Hey guys, my name is Gabriel Nachpal and I am Slovak-based concept artist working in the industry for already 7 years. I've been working on projects like the World of Warcraft The War Within DLC and also Diablo Immortal, Project Lex and many other titles which also I cannot talk about because unfortunately they are under NDA still. But I have a lot of personal work which I can talk about it, and I would love to share a little bit of breakdown of the process I used to create these 4 images. Just quickly, I'll take you through what was the plan. Basically, I was thinking that I would love to make something inspired by my ancestors and taking inspiration from the area where I live. And basically, before Christianity, there were groups of people called Slavs, and their perception of gods and hell and heaven was much different than what Christianity came out with. And basically, I wanted to explore the Nawia, the underworld or the afterlife, and I wanted to show the gate from our normal world. So idea was to create, let me draw something here. There is a guy, this is the gate, and the person would come to the gate, there would be some kind of a hallway, and then he would come out to the new world, the afterlife. Basically, the perception of afterlife in Slavic mythology is much more different than the normal one, which is like basically the Christianity. Basically, idea is that all the souls which will die with normal death without any unnatural way of dying, or like illness, like some kind of weird illness, or like someone will be pierced on a stick or whatever, they will go to Nawia. Basically, this is the afterlife. This, in terms of like, for example, like Christianity, this is something like heaven. All the good souls are going here to Nawia, which is shown this way that it's like roots coming out of the sky, and there are several gods. So if you would be good in your life, you would go to Nawia. If you would be a bad person, you would be killing people around you. You will be doing any sorcery. You would stay on Earth, which is Yavia, in our realm, and you would change to the creature or like whatever a soul, for example, like vampire, like Baba Yaga or Vodnik or other Slavic deities and like creatures. So this is much more different. This shouldn't be like hell, like in Christian mythology or beliefs, and this should feel different. So we don't have enough sources to show you like images, so it is great. We have so much opportunities and a lot of creative decision to create what we want. We don't need to set something on base rules. Like there are some rules, but I will go over it. So basically, I wanted to create a gate which is already in a ruin. It's supposed to look like a house or some kind of like ceremonial building, and if you enter it, you will get to the other world. And in order to pass through this gate, you need someone who can be your guide. You will change to the soul of a sheep. In this case, like also this isn't like 100% correct based on the mythology. This is just to let you know, inspired by mythology, and I'm taking the concept of sheep from like later Christianity, that we as a soul, like the most precious thing in the nature for these people, were kind of like sheep. And they were just like following this guy here. So he is our guide, and in order to get here, you need to go here in the moonlight, not the moonlight, the twilight phase, where it's in between the day and the night. So I will be playing a lot of with the symbols. Like here we have like 4 seasons of like spring, summer, fall, and winter. And also I will be playing with a tree of life, tree of the realms, and a lot of other symbols. Then when you enter this, you can enter this with only this person at a certain time. Normally it looks like this. So you enter, and now you can peek around and see that there is a transition between like our realm and the Nawia, the realm of the afterlife. And here at the end, I just wanted to do a quick sneak peek how it could potentially look like. I think I will explore this idea of Nawia more because it's very imaginative. I have so much freedom of like creating this world because there are no rules. I can come up with anything. And also, I just wanted to mention that this world shouldn't look totally peaceful. Like it's a still world where the souls are living, but nothing is perfect, because if I would go to the perfect world, for example, like in Christianity there is heaven, it would be boring. Like we would get bored. So I wanted to create a world which is beautiful and it's eerie and it's something magical, but still there are bad people which are using the other people and basically have all the drama which we have in our real world. So that's just like quick explanation of everything what we'll be talking here. So I usually start with key references. Usually I have them more, but maybe 30-40 references. But then I'm trying to find like a key reference which I will be inspired through the project most of the time. Okay, so this is the version of the Gate to Nawia activated. I started with this one first because it's not destroyed and I can spend the most of the time designing this gate, taking closer look on all the carvings, all the details, and hammering out everything what we have here. Later is much easier to destroy it. Okay, so main ref. I love these references because I wanted to feel like it's kind of like in between the realm of the North and like Eastern Europe. So there are like a lot of similarities with Nordic mythology, and it was very hard to get out of that. So yeah. Okay, so main thing, shepherd, sheep. I wanted to include the sheep, and I wanted to use some kind of like a gate which could be made by a human. It should feel magical, but it should feel that it can be built. So we are in kind of like how grounded, how fantasy we are. I think we have like liberty of 25 to 30% fantasy, and the rest should be real, grounded. So the architecture should be made mainly from the wood materials, and I will be using the reference of Romanian architecture, these cottages and these carvings, like they are inspired by braiding, and they are trying to make this wood carved to show all these ornaments and the animals and both, and also the world of deities and the world of giving sacrifices and having something like a little bit dark, that I don't want to create a perfect world. Okay, so I started with basic 3D blockout based on the sketch because I love the composition, use of gold and stuff like that. And I quickly realized that the gold won't be the perfect material. I will go with the silver because in order to, for example, in The Witcher, in order to kill a demon, you need to use silver, not normal metal. Silver is soft, but for creatures it have special effects. So I wanted to bind this with the silver. So okay, it will be kind of like grayish. Then I was thinking about the idea of moon, because the first idea was that this concept should go mainly around the idea of like Twilight Zone, that you can enter this portal only in specific time of the day. and then also like seasons and blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. I tried it to create this in 3D to test it out, and I quickly realized that it isn't working at all. It isn't looking as a building. It doesn't have proper shapes, and I wasn't satisfied with it. So I quickly just went to the Photoshop, starting overpainting this, that okay, what if it could be like broken? It's starting looking cool, but that's not the idea. We first wanted to show this like beautiful without any huge damage, and it should be kind of very big and grand statement. Okay, so I added a sheep, did a little bit of like 3D. As you can see, I'm combining 2D and 3D a lot, because like if I would try to in this early phase go with all these carvings and braidings to the 3D, it would take me a ton of time, and I want to work as efficient as possible. So I stayed here in 2D. I was thinking about the main symbol, what will be the symbol of the gate, and then I did the research. So I wasn't sure about the moon because it felt too modern in terms of like, okay, it would be kind of very hard to do shape like this, and the tree wasn't the big one. There should be like a guardian of this eternal tree. And then I started experimenting with more Slavic like interpretation of shapes, and I found that a symmetrical tree works kind of best. And I know it's basically the Yggdrasil from Norse mythology, but I also started to think about that, okay, and did a little bit of research that also like these locations, I think in Europe, like they are on the north, we are on the east, and they are taking inspiration from basically the same things, that also the Yggdrasil in a Slavic terms means the world tree, basically the something which binds all the realms, similar as in Norse mythology. And I wanted to use this ancient symbol of oak tree and use it. So yeah, I went for a tree. I did a sketch like this. And then I started to experiment with the roof, the shape of the roof, because this was kind of magical, but I wanted to have a little bit of like groundiness. Like this felt very magical. I know that I will go to the Nawia, and that will be magical part. So I wanted to make this much more Slavic. And I looked at the roofs, and I tried a lot of different shapes, and I ended up with something which is like this, which is very basic, kind of like the roof. If we would go to more Slavic realm, I think it would be shape would be much like this, that the roofs are much taller and thinner. But I like the negative shape, like it could be something broken, it's kind of symmetrical. And yeah, okay, so I like this shape, but I knew that I will need to push it because it looks too Nordic, too Romanesque, and this is boring. Yes, so I did a quick overpaint that let's see that part of the wood are flying away, that there is some kind of energy like sucking it in. So there is magic around, there are sheep. And then I tried, because I was like asking a friend for the feedback and quickly exploring the shapes, and he didn't like it either. And we started to just quickly talking about the subject, and we found that a lot of Slavs use like elongated part of the roof, that it was like much further from the main building. So that the main building is this, but the roof goes here, that it's much more elongated. And it worked. It already started feeling much sinister, much more wicked, much better. So I went with this one, and I was kind of happy. I started to mimic all the wooden braiding here, and also I used the shapes from a friend, Charles Dauphin. I'm not sure if I pronounce his name right, but this was kind of like a collaboration of two of us that we set up the world. Like, okay, we'll be doing a lot of different worlds, not worlds, like a lot of different environments in Slavic world, Slavic theme, like location, and we'll go more to the history. But we will do different environments. He will be also posting this very, very soon. Maybe he already posted after this was recorded. So take a look on his art. So we were talking about this. We were sharing assets, materials, everything, all the knowledge and research which we gathered by the time. And I started sculpting these guys. It was part of using the hard ops, the rope tool, a little bit of like playing in 2D with the shapes, then extracting it in a 3D, modeling, yeah, basic things. But if you layer it right, it will look rich. Nice. So, okay, just to see the reference, these Romanians villages, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. I want to replicate this kind of feeling of braiding. Then I started to thinking about the tree, that we cannot use it this one, it's like very flat, it's just 2D. So I went to the 3D, I found some ref that, okay, this could work. I will just design the shape, which is this one, and extract the shape in low poly, like basically going with the lasso. Okay. With the lasso and modeling this, extracting it, and then when I started doing this, I didn't know 3D code. On the way to the other parts, I relearned it, but here I just was playing in a blender with normal sculpting and adding a little bit of details that it looks like it could be man-made. This was the reference for these metal parts. Cool. Okay, then back to the carvings. I wanted to include the symbols of seasons, and I was basically brainstorming with my girlfriend about the ideas, how I could show them, blah blah blah, yada yada. And at the end, I stick to this kind of symbols, that these are mine. They are not created based on the normal symbol, which could be in Slavs, but I try to replicate some of them, which could be like iconic. Let's see, like this lotus, like rotating shape of Kolowrat. But in some countries, this is like forbidden symbol, so I should be aware of it. And this was the reference for the quality which I wanna take or like go for. So I did just this kind of like drawing of the creatures, Baba Yaga. Again, the three-headed dragons, and basically some creatures from a Slavic myth. I did a little bit of carving here, suggestion of the door. Yep, and this is the test. Like, okay, how it looked like. Basically what I did here, it's just the bump node with a little bit of height, and with the smart material, it looks perfect. So that's done. Then I knew that these pillars are made by Charles, so I wanted to create also mine. We were discussing the workflow, how we'll be modeling these, and at the end we found that best workflow was to start with a sketch. Let's first do a design, then do very basic low poly model of it in Blender. Put it in a 3D code or ZBrush and sculpt in all these carvings, blah blah blah, details. And the same process was for also column, which I will use in the interior. Yep, so that was the process. It was kind of fun. I love working in a 3D code. It's so organic, and it's perfect for concept art. It's not refined at all, but for the things which we'll be doing, this is totally enough. So these are my pillars or totems. Also, I was thinking that, okay, what I'm missing here in this frame, it's kind of like a raw wood, like wood which you would see when you look at it, that it took a long time. This building isn't a fresh new, but it's something which could be worn by weather, by sun, by all the elements. And I wanted to create these kind of like very old wood feeling that I felt that I'm missing, which these references have. So I went to the Sketchfab, found cool scan, and just copied one scan everywhere, here, everywhere. With a good usage of material, it looks great. Okay, then I also wanted to have the storytelling of a sheep and wolf, because I wanted to include the trespasser. Basically, someone who isn't behaving good. It's the bad guy in this image, but he wants to go to Nawia. He doesn't want to turn to the werewolf, for example. He wants to be one of the sheep. So he was like hiding here. Kind of cool idea. Thanks to my girlfriend. Yep. Also here I just added a little bit of damage with the bullion, and I also, all the time when I have something straight, I don't like it in terms of like architecture. I always try to, in a topology, in a 3D, try to bend it or like make it unperfect, because basically I'm doing now like historical, fantastical stuff, so it shouldn't be perfect. There are like people who made this building, they are not a machine, so I wanted to add that personal touch by humans, that not everything is perfect. Then the mood. Okay, we want to show this in twilight time of the day, so something in between, before the dawn, something in between the night and day. So the moon will be striking here with all this might, and I also want to have fireflies to show a little bit of magic and blah blah blah. Okay, then I tried these ribbons because I felt that this is lacking a little bit of like Slavic influence, and I didn't like it. It kind of works. This is just like 3D mesh. Like I found one ref and I placed it on a plane, tile it and put it there. I think it was too distracting, so I put it. Didn't put it there. Yeah. What I added here, just more overpaint, and as you can see, like in this one and before, like this, they're all 3D, and always I love to overpaint. So I'm trying as always I can work with the values, work with the smudging and soft edges, hard edges, and get the values right. Like now we can see the wolf much better, the sheep much better. It's basically easier to look at this image. There are areas of rest, there are areas which are smudgy, and this is the final overpaint and FX. So at the end, I'm adding FX stuff like these beams of light, that they have slightly very tiny color information. I push the stars to be more vibrant, then they are almost everywhere everywhere on the image. I painted a lot of stuff, so there is much better transition between the architecture and also there are some broken parts because I don't like perfect things. I'm not perfect at all, and I want to show it in my art that nothing is perfect. There is always a little bit of damage on you from the time to time. So I wanted to show that this building has a little bit of history. Maybe a wooden log fell, or there was a fight of gods, whatever. Just a little bit of imperfection. And also I added like motion blur, that it's like dragging us in like to the image, that all the edges are kind of soft, that we are not supposed to spend a lot of time thinking about this area. This is the main area. And also I added a little bit of scratches that, I don't know, it just looked cool, good. Yeah, this is it. This is the image. And let's go. Also, I just painted with just quick brush strokes. As you can see, this is before and after. As you can see, like how it improved. Like a little bit of bloom, and whatever. A little bit of smudges to fake it. Also, the left side is much easier to read. It could be better still, but whatever. Yep. Okay, so let's go to the other one. Okay, with this one, my idea was, which I didn't end up with that idea, but idea was that this is the version when it's activated, when it works, when you can go from one realm to the other. This one is already broken. The idea with this one was that maybe some other cultures came and they burned this place because they felt this is a satanistic thing or like something evil, and they wanted to end this ritual. So I took inspiration from Princess Mononoke by Ghibli Studio, and this building struck me, like in terms of visuals, that it's burned, but at the end the nature will take over and will create not ugly place, but something wonderful, something which is very striking, and I feel calm when I'm looking at it, even it's like a burned building. At the end, I didn't like the darks, so I didn't went with like everything is burned, just like some parts are darker. And maybe it was just too much of like ideas at the same time. And yeah, okay, so the idea was that it will be burned, that it will be ruined, that it will be overgrown, and this very important thing, I wanted to make feeling of something is dragging you in. It's not just like overgrown building, but it's something sacred. It's something which you shouldn't supposed to go there. It's something which could like your grandma would say to you, like it's haunted. You don't go there because you won't come back. And I also wanted to take inspiration from these Russian painters showing wonderful colors. Yeah. Okay, so I already have the building, which is in okay state. Then I have this one, which should feel very warm, very welcoming, but at the same time like inviting in a dark mood. So I was trying with different time of the day, and at the end I found this image that there will be storm in the background. There will be maybe this thing here, rainbow, yeah, and beautiful colored landscape with purple flowers and etc. Okay, so I set up the camera. So main thing which I'm trying to do when I'm doing these kind of environments, first is the camera, then the second is lighting. Like later I still experiment with the lighting, but I'm trying to stick to what I come up with here, because this will totally like if I would change the angle of the light, the readability will totally change. So I wanted to have a little bit of a shadow over here, a little bit parts of the light, and then beautiful meadow. Okay, so for a mood, I went with something vibrant as this forest. I think this is in Poland. Then again, abundant, beautifully overgrown photo, and I think this is from the Ghibli and some other painters. I took this render, I put it there, a little bit of brush strokes, so tested out the overpaint, what I'm talking. The overgrown So I know that, okay, what I will do, so I can start putting more time to the 3D, start to like, okay, before, like, as you see, I didn't broke anything. Now in a sketch I found that, okay, it needs to be something broken to in order to sell that it's not functional. So I started blocking out stuff. I then spent a whole day of searching 3D trees because I had a hard, like, or let me rephrase my thoughts, like discussion about the workflow which I should use, if I should go with the like photo bashing or 3D treeing, like adding a lot of 3D trees. I wanted to try 3D because I'm not the best at it and there is still room to improve, and why not to build a library of beautiful trees. And happily I found the right trees. As I said, I spent a whole day of researching, buying, downloading anything which I could do, and I created something like this. It works well for me. Finally, after 7 years of like working in industry, I have proper nature. Yes, pretty trees, cool. Then I took it to the Photoshop. I started the overpainting. First thing which I did is was just removing all the shadows, clearing the areas, putting the green on top of these logs, working with the atmosphere so you can see that there is a little bit of like information. I want this to feel like, wow, there is nothing, just darkness. Okay, perfect. Also, I spent a little bit of time on the meadow, so it looks better. Then more overpaint, more clearing of the values. My main ref was this one, and also I was watching this over and over again. The Princess Mononoke, I totally recommend this. It's one of my most favorite movies which I ever seen. Beautiful work, not just from the art, but also the story, environmental theme, and good and evil. Yes, great movie. So I wanted to take everything in to my head, to my artistic bumpy head, and I wanted to put it to something which I am currently working on. So it should feel kind of that it will be a mix of beauty and darkness. It should be inviting but terrifying. So I played with these concepts. And this is final overpaint and FX. Here I don't have that much FX, only just like few brush strokes here and there. So it feels a little bit more artistic. I have a little bit of filters, as you can see from the Photoshop, that like just showed before. There is a lot of mess here, a lot of details, a lot of stuff, a lot of polygons. It's looking bad, and we don't need those details as much as we think. At the end, we are still stylizing the real life, so we don't need to have one-to-one photography, but we want to have like the idea of the forest, the feeling of the forest, all the colors, all the details which I think they will help, we will add there. So this is the final image, and just quickly show you the process of this, how it started from this one, until this. As you can see, now I'm working on trees, mixing the values, smudging everything in. So like here there are a lot of sharp edges. You don't want to have this on the sides. That's my personal opinion. And like simplifying everything what we have here, a little bit of contrast, and also like working on a character, because that's one of the main things. This guy was kind of ugly, so it wasn't enough, so I wanted to have him a little bit epic, and yeah, a lot of butterflies everywhere around him. Perfect. Let's go to the next one. Let's go. Okay, whole way to the Nawia. When I was thinking about the portal, I felt that many times there is just a door or just the portal in between the you and the other world. So I wanted to create kind of like transition, because I love transitions, and I wanted to create a feeling of like something like this, but with more transition. Like I was very inspired by this image, that we are looking at the clouds, but in the water it is kingdom. This is very strong image, and I wanted to go from something very gloomy, depressive, to something very helpful and positive. And also I wanted to take, I was doing a little bit of research of finding a building which could be like, if this would be kind of like a movie, they would try to find something which is already in a real world, so they can redesign it slightly, and basically have actors in the actual building. They don't need to build it from ground up. So I found, unfortunately, the Viking hall. Yeah, I wanted to go with the Slavs, but the one thing which I didn't like was that the roofs, or basically the ceiling, here is very straight, and it doesn't work for my concept. So in this image I went a little bit more to the north side for the inspiration, and this is the Viking hall reconstruction at Lyre. I don't know how to pronounce this. What I wanted to have, all the wood which is already dried or like soaked by wet, like it's you can see the damage. You can see that you are not using the metal nails, but the wooden ones. So yeah, it's cool. Then I did quick research about the ceilings, how they were made, and I just sticked out to this one. I liked it, so I tried to build it up with the quick materials. Then I started putting the mood, a little bit of colors, and yeah, that's just the start. It looks ugly, whatever. Then I started to, okay, I want to have trees. I love trees. If I will have my house, if I will be able to build a house, I want to have a tree in a hallway or living room. Why not? Because it's cool. I want to be connected to the nature, and I like that there was like a kind of like transition from the building, which is made by humans, to the forest, and I wanted it to be shown. So this is the first draft. Then I did the overpaint. I was experimenting with the shape. This one is looking funny. When I showed this one on a birthday party, everyone said the same thing, that this is looking as it is looking. What is it? So I needed to change it. And also, I don't like this mood. It's I don't know. It looks like AI. Whatever. Okay, so I went back and I said to myself, need a transition. Okay, so let's go from the blue to yellow. Why not? Complementary colors, maybe it will work. So, and it beautifully worked. I illuminated this hallway with like there are gaps in the ceiling, and the light is coming through. It's like thanks to the global illumination, is reflecting everywhere. We are using our beautiful models made in 3D code, and roots need to be everywhere. Okay, let's talk about mood. I wanted to create something dark and menacing as this, and go slowly to something very positive and kind of like, okay, that's heaven. It's great. I want to be there. I won't do bad stuff. Yeah, that was the premise. So I started building more materials, more architecture. I started to adding a little bit of scans here and there, and it beautiful help, because it was nice transition of like small shapes, because here I missed a little bit of smaller groupings of shapes. As you can see, like it's like kind of like a mud mixed with hay and grass and whatever, with the rope, and it's kind of like a plaster, like medieval way of doing plaster. So I wanted to add very raw feeling, like this is not something which is precisely builded, but it is built maybe by gods, whatever. So that's before. Bum, bum, bum. And as you can see, like, it helped a lot to get this kind of light. Yes, then let's go next. More architecture, more details. What's the difference between this one? Yeah, I was just like, okay, going in and back and was trying to get the right scale, the right shape, the right flowers, the grass, so I don't need to have this one blue. And let's go next one, blue, because we are looking to Afterlife. It needs to feel positive and wet, like you are coming out to the sauna. And then I felt that, okay, I need a little bit of elements to get in, to draw me in. So a little bit of magic here and there. These kind of shapes I love. I was drawing them when I was young, and I found out why, because I don't know, I just like these organic shapes. And it's repeating everywhere. The bell, like, it was kind of like an idea of, okay, this last sound of the bell which you hear, like, bell is a great symbol of something starting, something ending, something coming. So this was like a last ring of a bell, and then you completely, your library of sound will change. That was the idea. Also, I played with the textures. I did this planks in a 3D code that I quickly just model it, and then I did a lot of details. It's hard to see it, but as you can see, there are like a little bit of like chopping done, so it looks better. Yeah, and then final overpaint and FX. So let's just compare this. It's not that much of difference, but I added a little bit of like they are crying. I don't know, some kind of liquid. And yeah. Okay, now we are at the last painting. Now we are entering the Nawia, the afterlife, the realm of the dead. Not the dark hell. This is something more like a heaven, but I would say something not in between, but basically the realm for the souls to rest in, and it's not perfect place. First I thought that it will be perfect place, but it was too boring. As I said before, if something is perfect, it's not real. So I took the inspiration from Ghibli, again, Princess Mononoke. I also bought a book, The Art of. So I was looking at this in the night. Then I like this mood of like just having girls there. Then beautiful flowers, then beautiful colors, and this painting by Rian Richmond, which was like a reference of quality, which I want to get, because I love the trees, how thick they look like, but still beautiful, and that's perfect for what I need. Also, like the yellow, it's feeling like a gold. It's you can tell this is in our earth, and I want that feeling. Okay, so what I did, I wanted to create unique colors for my thing, and I experimented with a little bit of vegetation. I wasn't satisfied very much with this one. I felt that's working, but yeah, I didn't like it at all. So I said to myself, I don't want to spend much more time in the colors, 4 colors in vegetation. I will first tackle up the big shapes, and I did few sketches of these shepherd exploring the environment and taking a sheep to their rest, and yeah, I sketched this one thing here, which I think is cool idea. Maybe I will explore it more. Basically, try to imagine a big ass tree, and if you are a soul, like, you can have fun there, maybe go to jacuzzi or drink vodka or rum or whatever. that was the first idea of the heaven, that they will be drinking a lot, or basically they will be drunk all the time, like without any pain. That kind of could be cool. Then I thought that if they want to rest and already like, okay, they will say that it was enough, I had a lot of fun, and I'm dying finally, or getting reincarnated, that they will fuse with a tree. They will lay on a tree and they will get fused. So I think next time I will do this idea that they are fusing in a tree, whatever. Yeah, basically I like this one, the contrast of the black water, the reflection of the tree, and huge ass tree. So I went to the 3D. I blocked this out from various scans from Sketchfab based on this reference. I added a little bit of vegetation, that we have leaves. I added this shepherd on a deer, that if this would be kind of like a video game, it would be very fun to free roaming on a deer, just running around, chasing the birds or whatever. First, I thought that I will put there a god of this realm in the shape of a deer, but I didn't like it. I wanted to add a little bit of symbol. This was the inspiration for the trees. I want to have a lot of moss. Then crazy shapes, which is very rare to see in our woods. It needs to feel ancient, and also it needs to feel otherworldly. Slightly, not that much. Still, you want to believe in it, but you want to have a little bit of, like, basically differentiate. For example, I was thinking that all the moss and nature, it's growing from the direction of the sun. That, as you can see, on the left there is no moss, on the right is moss. Like, it's basically different than in our world, that usually moss is building on the wet areas because of the moisture, and usually those are north areas. But I wanted to have that the sun has energy of like basically healthy and rejuvenate your energy. Okay, then as always, I sketch something very quick in 3D with basic materials, light, composition, camera, and I go to the 2D. I quickly brush over with a very rough brain strokes, brush strokes, sorry. And I have just fun. I'm trying to figure out if this will work. I'm also like changing the mood a little bit, that I didn't like the purple. The bluish one worked much more. And then I added a person. I felt that it needs to have the focal point much stronger. And yeah, okay, so I said to myself, I don't want to waste my time. Let's go to the 3D, build the tree. Thanks to the Norris Lynn, who is teaching the class through Brainstorm School, I was learning 3D code, and with the stencil, I basically added a lot of details. I also like hand sculpted some of the parts, so there is better transition, but like the stencil, it was working great. So we have a tree. Good tree, okay tree, yes. And then let's go to the overpaint. Like, okay, that was the render. I added the sheep that they are going here. There are also small sheep. There are some with the sticky feet. There is one drinking. Yeah, let's have variety. And yeah, let's put the mist. Let's put the mystical thing here. And also, what I wanted to quickly test, if I can make puddles in the 3D in the Blender, and it was super easy. I recommend you to find a tutorial for puddles. It's super easy. So a little bit of realism that feels much more cinematic. It helps. And also these ribbons helps to show a little bit more movement. And then a little bit of sparkles and details. I think they are too much, just to have some effects in the air. And that's almost the final. I felt that the FX is too much. And I wasn't sure about the symbol. I'm not sure even now, because I did like 3 variations of them, and this felt like a cross to me. I like this, I think, the most in terms of like visual from a distance. I think I like it the most. Like, it could represent the shape of the sheep, like the horns, or antlers, and it's like a shape of shepherd, like he's taking them there. And this kind of like more like Christmas, like winter reflection. This more like symmetrical, and this one I ended up with because it's taking inspiration from several things, which are symbols of rebirth, life, and death, which is Kolovrat, and one which I totally forgot, which is used by Celts a lot, but also Slavs, they use this. I know visually this one is more interesting, but symbol-wise talking, I think this works better for this image, because it's like a rebirth, stuff like that. I don't know if I mentioned that they believe that they will be reborn, reincarnated back to the earth. And this is the final, just to show you the process. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so we have this exploration. Too many colors, cool shapes, working okay. Sketches, then rough 3D, overpaint at Jesus Christ or the hero. Then going back to the 3D, doing the trees right, using 3D code, all the tools, and overpainting face, adding atmosphere, adding a lot of mist. Getting right values, overpainting these parts that it needs to felt kind of like Elden Tree. FX, less FX, more FX, and final image. So yeah, and also a little bit of overpaint, a little bit of details here and there. This wrong color, I should correct it. Deer has better budget than before. Yep, cool. So that's everything. So just to recap, these are all the stuff, and this was personal projects done during the weekends, during the long nights, and I also had some in between the projects phase where I could spend a little bit more time, and I was also teaching at New Edge, so I had the opportunity to spend a little bit more time on this one, and I think I will explore more. If you would like to see more, let me know in a comment. Thank you guys. I think this is my first video on YouTube after a long time ago. I was doing videos when I was 12 or something like that. I played Battlefield, and now is the time to take art seriously. So I will be sharing more videos like this, and let me know if you would like to see something different or tutorial or whatever. Thank you so much, and have a